This is part 3 of our interview with Gail Turner, a female expat in Medellin, Colombia. Follow along. Hey, and like you said, there are a lot of things that you can do in Medellin without having to leave the city itself. Watch my old videos, from paragliding to climbing mountains to tours.
Yes.
I'm a tour guy, by the way. And he's donating money too. I helped him with a donation down there too. But there's certain areas and certain places and certain experiences. That, to me, that's what life is. It's experiences. And when you meet people from different cultures, you gain something from that.
Yes.
So,
and that was one of the things that I learned. Like I said, I've traveled all over the place, and that was the main thing that I got from that. Now, you just said something, and I want to make sure that people do understand. I always hear people say that. They say, "Oh, I want to travel because I want to go to other places. I want to be around other cultures." And so then they come here from the US, and then they freak out because the culture is different. And they want everything to be the way it is in the States. And so it's like, if you really want to experience another culture, then be prepared to make adjustments, to be flexible, to experience different food or different things and a different style. One of the things that when I got here, like, they don't have air, for the most part, in the regular and residential thing, they don't have air conditioning. Okay. They don't have hot water in the sink. They may have it in the shower, but they don't have it like everybody talking about washing your hands. It's like it's in cold water, right? And I'm like, what's the problem? And so they're like, oh, we're just used to it. So be aware of that. Now, again, when I was doing the Airbnb, I didn't know. I just assumed everybody had hot water everywhere. And it turned out I was not correct in assuming that. And the same thing, going back to what we were talking about in terms of learning the language. You have to be prepared for that. You cannot come to another country and get mad because they don't speak English. It's like you're the one that's visiting. And I've seen that. I especially see it in some of the Facebook groups. They're angry about, it's slow. Yeah, it's slow.
You will wait.
Okay.
Be patient.
Depending on, you have to, they don't try. It's not the same kind of time thing that we have. And some of it, I heard someone say, I can't remember that, that they don't have the same kind of service. Some of it is not the service. They just have a slower pace. Everything is not necessarily crazy. Now, the traffic is crazy. The traffic is crazy as hell.
Oh, traffic is
I'm
like,
oh my God. And the motorcycles, I'm like, oh my God.
Squeezing in and in between the cars, and while it's sitting still, they still find.
Yes. I'm like, I won't get hit by a car. I'll get hit by a motorcyclist. That's what's going to kill me, if nothing else. So, so some of it, that's why I said you got to know who you are. If you somebody that's coming from Wyoming out in the rural area, and this might really freak you out to come to, like, if you end up in Poblado, where it's just super, a lot of stuff is happening, that could freak you out. You could have culture shock, and so that's what I like to tell people. Don't say you want to travel to experience another culture and then not be willing, especially if you're going to stay or you're thinking of staying for a certain period of time, be willing to adjust, that you may have to make some adjustments, to certain things. One of the things I know here, the sidewalks are narrow.
and they are a mess. There's a hole or you will trip. You need to look down
Yes,
if you're on those
exactly.
sidewalks. Yeah.
Yes. Or you walk and all of a sudden it dips,
Yep.
right? And so, again, I bought all my cutie for duty sandals and stuff. I wear my sneakers. I wear my tennis shoes because I'm like, I will break an ankle trying to walk on. Now the women here, they good. They have no problem. But yeah, it's that part is different.
Some cultures I notice look down as opposed to we're used to here. We look up. We just assume things are smooth and level. But let me tell you, and this is something I don't know if I brought it up in my prior videos, but the sidewalks in Medellin, Colombia, that's all I can speak with, or wherever I've been, Guatapé or wherever, but the sidewalks are not as well maintained as they are here in the US. You will step in a hole, you will trip over, the tree will grow and push the sidewalk 7 feet higher, and it's going to be that way. That's just the way it is. So when you go, have a sense about yourself to constantly look down and see where you're going, because you will drop in a hole. You will break your ankle. You will ruin your trip. You will trip up. I tripped numerous times. I didn't know that was a curb. I wouldn't think a curb would be in the middle of the street, but has this rise. You just get the wall, you just go, There's, the little manhole covers, the manhole cover is gone. May not be round, maybe small, just enough for your foot to fit inside. Oh, I've stepped in all of them. Be careful on the sidewalks. Be careful.
Yes,
Let me ask you one more question. I'm going to wrap up shortly because I don't know if you can hear on my end. I don't know if they're back at it or what, but I tried to start it.
I got people back at it here as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm getting past this. But you brought up something before that made me think. I had to ask you about this. What do you think of Colombian food?
Okay, so the food. I was surprised. It's bland to me. I thought, and again, this is an assumption, I guess, because it's Latin America. I just assume it's going to be spicy,
like Mexican or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not. I don't eat pork and beef, and so there's that main dish. I swear I want to call it paisa.
Bandeja paisa. Watch my video on that.
Okay.
It didn't go well.
And they and so they have all of this food that they pop. I'm like, I don't do that. They fry everything. They fry. Now I did have some buñuelos that I did like. The initial ones I didn't like, and it turned out I was told, because I ended up going on a food tour, which I really enjoyed, that if you get them from from the store, or from if you've ordered some fast food or something, and they give you, and a buñuelo comes in there, it's not as good as the ones that are actually made at the vendor. That's one of the good things about Sabaneta. They have this huge stand that has these ginormous buñuelos. Those are good. I like empanadas, but again, it's fried. I have not managed to like arepas. I haven't found any that I like yet. I'm like, nope, can't do this. So
an arepa is just, you're hungry, I have to eat. To me, it's just a little fried piece of bread,
Okay, yeah, because that's all it is, right? It's just fried bread. It's
some type of grain, yeah.
Now, somebody also told me that that you have to have it done right. I'm like, okay, well, whatever, we'll see. Now, when I went on the food tour, we were in Laureles. I wish I could remember the name of this restaurant, but the food was really, really good. And I wish I could remember. And it was interesting. I had this soup, and it had lentils, and then also crunched up like potato sticks, the fried potato sticks that we used to eat as kids.
Yeah.
That was in there, and a couple other things. Now I was surprised. That was really, really good. But in general, I think Colombian food is bland. I don't know what you think about it. But.
So anybody who's watched me for any period of time, and especially those videos, I had to apologize for that video. I had a tamale also. They said a tamale, and
I haven't had that
video
yet.
that didn't go too well either. I did not have luck. Yeah, I did not have luck with Colombian food, and I love the paisa people. I love the country. I love everything about it. The food is just something that I would say that I'm partial to American food. I would lean more, my whole life, 50 some odd years I've been in the U.S. and I've been eating the same things and I know what I like and I know how I like to prepare it. I'm not kidding when I say you need to, when you go to Medellin, to bring your own Tony Chachery, bring your own sea salt, bring your own Old Bay, bring your own with your own hot sauce, your own Louisiana hot sauce. I am not kidding. And it will save your life. Some foods are different. I don't know if you tried the mustard and the cheese when you go buy it from the grocery store. Didn't work out for me either.
Okay, the mustard I have. Well, you know what? I found French's mustard. I found the regular mustard at the grocery store.
I didn't
the
find
cheese.
French's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you. Well, one, I don't know if you shopped at Price Smart, but Price Smart is like, okay, Price Smart is like Costco. Okay. And so when I do my big grocery shopping, that's what I'll buy stuff from there. And so, yeah, so they I think even at Caruja, they may have had French's, but anyway, so I have mustard as regular French's mustard. The cheese, yes, it's like, there's no taste.
And texture is just flops.
It's flat. Exactly. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, because in fact, when I came this time, I had my little plastic bag and I put all my little spices in my plastic bag, that Ziploc bag that I brought with me. Yes. And I cook. It's like, let me cook my own food. I wish I had thought about bringing the Old Bay. I did not do that. But I have some Cajun seasoning and some other stuff. So yeah, but yeah, you do have to do that. I don't know. I don't know. But I've been able to find, I'll use the word American food. My favorite food is Greek. I like Greek food and I like Parisian food. Those are my two favorite kinds of foods that I'm more partial to.
And they do have that there. They have pretty much every type of food you would want. You're just going to pay more. Yeah,
you're going to pay more. Yeah.
You're going to get a $3 meal there. Yeah.
You're right. Exactly. But you can get by. I mean, you can get by. If people, if you get homesick, they've got Kentucky Fried Chicken. They have, if you just out and want to do stuff, they got Kentucky Fried Chicken. They've got Subway. They have Popeyes. They got McDonald's. They got all that stuff. If you really want to go and get some fast food or something, that is available.
It's available, but it's not fast. You will still wait. You will still wait on Subway. You will wait on Subway longer than you will here. McDonald's. Well, you're going to wait for that burger.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not sitting there waiting. Yeah.
Well, because they fix it right there, right? They don't.
They cook it right there, but it's not.
Yeah,
like
they cook it right
McDonald's there. They just grab one and give it to you. It's not
right.
Yeah.
Right. And so yeah. Well, see, and I can't tell because I order it. What do you call it? Rappi is my. That's my second. That's my. Google Translate and Rappi. I got.
For those who don't know Rappi, it's in lieu of Uber Eats. They will bring you alcohol. They will bring you money. They will bring you food. They will bring you whatever you want. And you'll see, just like the little app on Uber, you'll see a little scooter going down the street and ding dong.
Exactly. And that was going to be my question, because there were a couple people from Colombia that did not know that you can get money. Yeah. From Rappi, and it definitely came in handy during the lockdown, because like right now, yesterday was my one day that I could go out. I can't go out again until next Tuesday. And so if I want groceries, if I need money, like my maid comes tomorrow, I need to pay her. And I didn't get money when I went out yesterday. So I'm going to order it from Rappi. And so, yeah, my fan that I purchased, I got from Rappi. anything that you
They
want.
delivered a fan?
Yes.
Really?
They tell you if we can fit it in our back thingy, they will deliver it. Yes.
Wow.
You can
Yes.
get anything delivered. So that's the one. That's the other thing that they have. So yeah, if I wanted to add to my list, it's rap, because you can't get that, back at home. But Amazon does deliver here as well. So that was when I was here last year, they didn't. This year they do.
Yeah.
So, so in fact, my camera glasses, I ordered that through Amazon, and that's coming next Tuesday. So
Yeah. I have in one of my prior videos things you need to do and get before you get there. And Rappi is definitely one of the top 3. You definitely want to
yes,
download that app even before you go. You just add your credit card to it or your debit card to it, just like you would on Uber. So it's almost the
yes,
same thing. So when they do bring you money, they're bringing you your money, and there's just a fee
exactly,
associated with it. It's in lieu of going to the grocery store and saying you want an extra $40 back. It's the
exactly.
same thing.
Or going to an ATM machine, or
Yeah.
whatever. And in fact, I found out yesterday that Rappi, I don't know why, but they are giving me a better rate than the
The
than I
bank.
got at the ATM machine. Yeah, because I had to go to the ATM machine yesterday to pull out money for my rent, and the conversion rate, it was horrible.
What is it
Um,
now today?
well, okay, so the official conversion rate is like 3,700 and no 3,600 and something pesos. They gave me 3,300 and something pesos. So where my rent was based on the
Ooh,
pesos
yeah, it's
should have,
3.6 right now. It's low. It
yeah,
was
I mean, well,
4.3
I
like a
know,
few
but
months
see,
ago.
but you know what? This kind of how I look at it. You can't say it's low because it's all relative. Because when I was here last year, it was 3.4, and that's what I
Really?
thought was normal, right? When I got here in February, it was like three. It was like between 3.4 and 3.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
By by March, it was like 3.9, 4. It might have been 4, like you said.
It did go to
And
4.2 at one point, 4.2 or 4.3 for a brief
exactly,
time.
exactly. So so it just, it just kind of depends. But the bottom line was that I checked the convert. So my rent is like 1,800,000 pesos. So I'm like, okay, well, what is that today? And it turned out it was like $495. But when I went to the bank and pulled that out, it was $534 because of the conversion rate they were giving me.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it does fluctuate. It's still good regardless when you compare it to what you have to pay in the US. But yeah, it does fluctuate. And so I keep hoping for that 4 again.
Yeah,
But you gotta, but even that, and then I think I posted something when it was like that, because that was when the pandemic has first started and everybody first started locking down. And I was telling people, this is one of the things about some of the people that are from the US when they come here, kind of how they want to, I'll use the word take advantage. It's like then you can afford to tip extra, give, because remember, it might feel good for us to be at 4-1, but they're making less money. And so, I'm thinking I increase, like on Rappi, I increase the amount of tip that I give, just because I thought I was doing good at one point when I didn't know nothing about the money. I was tipping like 2,000, 3,000, because in my head it was $3, but it wasn't. I converted it one day, and I'm like, that's 50 cents, And so I was telling people, I've seen on some of the groups. I remember someone's asked how much was it to go get your nails done, And this person said, oh, I was able to go and get it for what the equivalent of $8, right? Someone else like, oh no, I could go and get it for $4. And I'm like, ladies, y'all know how much it costs to get your nails done in the US. Get these people that $8. Why? I mean, why do you have to go down, as low as you can go? So I just think that we should try to be fair. I hear people talk about gringo prices. And it's one thing if you're buying real estate, but if you're getting your nails done, if you're getting your hair done, I mean, it's not going to, if you paying, tipping somebody in an Uber or a taxi, it's okay, for you to pay a little extra. It's really not going to cost you that much, so that's just how I feel about that.
I think a lot of Americans just in general are aggressive. We are aggressive, and some, depending upon where if you're from DC, Maryland, Baltimore, New York, Philly, Jersey, you're even more aggressive than you are here in Texas or California. They're more laid back.
Oh, really?
So when you go to a place like this, you have to know when you go there, lose a little bit, and I've said it before in some of my videos, lose a bit of the U.S. attitude. Don't go there expecting, anybody to treat you any better because you are American. Because first of all, here's the thing. As long as I did not speak there, no one did not know I was American. As long as I don't talk, because we come in every shade, color, variation, you really can't tell. So until you open your mouth and have that attitude, or you feel like you're pressing somebody, like they're moving too slow, because remember, it's their country, it's their time. We all want time. We all want to slow time up. Well, here's your chance. Get to Colombia. They will slow it up for you. Let me tell you, it will be, it will be calm.
And I was thinking about what you just said. Yes, that was one of the other things that was on when I created my top 10 list. It was that I enjoyed blending in. That as long as in fact, I've had a couple of people who thought I was Colombian. And so I liked the idea that I just blend in. I didn't stand out, at all. So, you're right. I like that, what you said. It's like you are on Colombian time. You are not on US time.
Yeah,
so
it's CP time, but it's a different one.
Yeah, but it's another time.
It's slower.
It's a different one, yes.
So I didn't date there, but I'm told if you tell someone to meet at 8 o'clock, they may leave their house at 9. So just be aware. And that is so, I've heard it so many times, it's got to be true. So it is. Because I think most Latin American countries are like that. I tell you, somewhere else is like that. Italy is like that. You brought up something. Let rattle off right before we go. Where else have you been to? What other countries have you visited, and for any length of time?
I have gone. There's not that many places. Well, I shouldn't say not that many places I haven't been. That's not true. I've been all over Europe. Well, I've been to Italy and Paris several times, England several times. I've been to Switzerland, Budapest, Greece. I loved Greece. I've also been to Thailand and Singapore and Indonesia. And then, as I said, I've been to Brazil. I've been to Caracas, Mexico, several islands. I've been to Egypt. That was fabulous. So
what's your favorite? What's your favorite country?
There is no such thing.
Really?
Because no, because for instance, when I went to Italy, my sister and I went together to talk about. We went. We landed in Rome. We happened to go into a map shop, and we were looking at this map, and we realized, we asked somebody, we saw Pompeii, and it was like, how far is that? It was like, oh, it's 4 hours. And we looked at each other, it was like, bet. And so we rented a car, and then we just drove. And so we drove to Pompeii. We went up the Amalfi Coast. Then we drove north and went to Florence and Pisa. It was like the best trip I had ever had, because it was totally spontaneous. We didn't know we were going to do that. There was no plan. We just went. So that was fabulous. But I was talking to a girlfriend of mine a couple of days ago. She had sent me pictures of when we had gone to Egypt. And we were on a boat going down the Nile. And you're in the midst of the pyramids. There was a picture of us on a camel, and so it was just fabulous. The history and and so that's why I said every place is a different experience, which makes it unlike anything else that you may have ever experienced before. And so the only country I could say that I could really totally do without is England, because even though England is very it's pristine and all of that, but you want to talk about bland? Oh God, there's no taste.
Trust me, I had fish and chips that had no taste to it. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. Yeah,
it's like no taste. I tried you always hear about the warm chestnuts. That was the nastiest stuff I ever had in my life. So so that I could probably do without England. I mean, and it was not, then they drive on the left, so you almost get killed trying to
drive a car. Yeah, I would never drive a car.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it wasn't driving; it was walking, because you're used to.
That's true. You used to look in one direction when you step off the curb.
Exactly. That's crazy. So I've had and that, going back to one of those things that you asked, the experiences. You cannot replace the experiences that you have when you travel and you meet other people and you connect and you see other lands. You just can't beat that. And as they say, life is short. And when I was back home after my sons left home, I'm sitting in this house literally occupying maybe 2 or 3 rooms of this, this big old house. And I'm like, no, I got to do something else. I need to do something else. And so it's like life is just an adventure. And now my girlfriend and I once this is over, we've decided we're going to go to Dubai. And I want to see what that's like. But I did decide, like, this is my anchor. Medellin is my anchor home. And then I can then go and travel some other places. So I still want to go to Portugal. But this is where I want to be. And then I'll just go travel from this spot. So, yeah.
It's a lot to see in this world, a lot of experiences to have.
It is.
So, Gail, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hopping on. If someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to find you or see your podcast?
Okay, yes. So my podcast is Traveling the World While Black. And so, and right now it is on Anchor and on Spotify. And so actually, if anybody wants, in fact, if you have any other questions about what's going on, you can actually contact me at gail@travelingtheworldwhileblack.com. And I'll be glad to answer if anybody have any more questions that they want to know or curious about what's going on here.
Excellent. And I will put that information below in the description as well. So again, thank you so much. We made it through construction on your side, on my side. Hopefully it doesn't play too much here, but
I know, and I appreciate you, Rob. No, I appreciate you answering me. And I've got to go to Sweet Georgia. Was it Sweet Georgia Brown?
Sweet Georgia Cafe. I know.
Sweet
For the
Georgia's
first
Cafe.
school, I kept saying Brown. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been there too.
Sweet Georgia Cafe. Yeah. It's in Laureles, right? Isn't it in Laureles?
It's on the edge of. It's actually on the Medellin side, but he calls it Laureles. It's 2 blocks off of 33rd. Which is the
okay. Oh, snap. Okay, yes. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So, that is like a must do as soon as you can.
Yeah, I will.
So wait a minute, just right before we go to, it is June 22nd in the afternoon.
It's July.
Is it? July. I'm sorry, July. I'm a month off. What's it like now as far as the restrictions? Did you get locked down even more severe? Because
the cases increased, so they're like, okay, we need to lock y'all down again. So as I said, I'm allowed to go out once a week. Like before, I could go out like 3 days a week. Now it's like once a week. On the weekends, is really restrictive. They are like, you can't go to the bar, you can't go drinking.
Oh, of course.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's been done. Yeah.
yeah, so you can't go drinking. They said it was going to be for the next 4 weekends, because at first it was only going to be for 2 weeks. Now it's like for the next 4 weekends they are totally restricting movement. Obviously, you got to have on a mask or you're going to get fined. And that's the other thing. They're like, you're going to get fined, and or you could get put in jail if you keep repeating it. So based on the cedula, again, is how they have restricted it. So like I said, it's 1 day a week. That's it. That's all.
Wow.
So yeah. So we'll see what happens. And right now it's still, I think it's August the 6th or 7th, something like that. I'm still hoping that now they did start domestic flights yesterday.
Okay.
So
okay.
domestic flights did start back up as a pilot. In fact, I heard an airplane go over my building yesterday, which scared me because I hadn't heard any planes in so long. So so that is being done. So that's a pilot program. And then we'll see what happens come September. They're
Hopefully
supposed to open the
September
borders
1.
back up.
Let's
But
all
here's
pray.
the thing. Yeah, because here's the thing, though. It is not implausible that they might start international flights, but that doesn't mean that we can go to the U.S. because right now, Bahamas has locked off their borders to the U.S.
I did a video on who is open a couple weeks ago, and the Bahamas was open, and now they just took themselves off a couple days ago.
That's
So
right.
yeah, and they're also, certain countries are being picky as far as what state you're coming from in the U.S. too. So my state,
right.
Texas,
Oh
California,
yeah, Texas is a mess. Yeah,
and Florida,
exactly.
yeah, and Arizona. All the 4 of us are like restricted.
Right.
We're a mess. So stay inside, stay safe. At least you're not.
Yeah. I'm very glad I'm not there. And in fact, that's why I did not take one of the humanitarian flights that they had going back. Because as I mentioned, my son and his girlfriend are having a baby as we speak. And I said, no, I have to spend the night in Florida. I'm not going to do that. I've been very safe here. I'm not going to expose myself, going through Florida and then going home to a newborn baby. I'm not going to do that.
Yes. Be careful, people. Stay home.
Yeah.
Just stay home.
Yeah, just stay home. Stay home. That's
and put
right.
on a mask if you have to step
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, Gail. Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Much appreciated. We'll talk after this, and we got to do this again.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right. Take care.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it.
Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.